Alright, welcome back. In our very first video of this series, we went over Nmap scanning and we identified there was a vulnerable port on port 80. Today we're going to try to see if we can identify what is actually running on port 80 using a tool called Fuzz Faster U Fool. And this tool will actually try to find subdirectories within that web page running on HTTP on this IP address. The first thing that this tool relies on is actually to use word lists. So the first thing we would need to do is identify where are some word lists. So you'll see here in the /user share /word list directory that we will have numerous different text files. You can get these online. You can do a quick Google search and say top word lists, and you'll identify a bunch of different word lists that you can leverage for doing this type of work. Alright, now that we have a word list defined, or at least many word lists defined, what we can do now is actually start looking into the Fuzz Faster U Fool tool. And the first thing I like to do with the Fuzz Faster U Fool tool or any new tool is I like to look at the man pages. So man FFUF, so that's what Fuzz Faster U Fool breaks down to. We use the acronym. So when we go through the man pages, we can identify the different switches that are used here for fuzzing a web page. So for example, we could use the -h, which would give us the ability to specify a header name and value. You have to separate that by the colon. You can use multiple -h flags as well. Another switch that is commonly used would be the -w list, which is identifying a word list. This is actually the one that we'll be using here, leveraging that same file path with those word lists that we have identified a moment ago. Alright, now that we have our switch defined, our -w, and we have a word list identified, we can start to actually do some fuzzing. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the -w switch. Since we're already in the directory where those word lists existed, we are just going to type in a word list itself. So let's identify a word list in here that we can use. Alright, so we'll try to use first the fasttrack.txt word list, see if we can get anything that comes up out of that. So fasttrack, okay, and let's just click enter there. Oh, look, we got an error. Okay, so it's telling us here you've encountered errors, one error occurred, -u flag or request flag is required. Okay, let's figure out what the -u flag is. Okay, let's scroll through our options, see if we can find a -u. There's the -u. Okay, of course, we have to specify a target. So -u, and we need to specify the target, which is 192.168.1.17. And let's throw HTTP in front of that because it was using port 80. And let's do a /. And at the very end here, you have to use a parameter of fuzz to identify that you're trying to fuzz this directory. It's just a special keyword that you have to use with FFUF. Alright, so the job was complete after running on that directory itself. We did not find anything using that word list. Let's just make sure that that .17 is in fact the IP that we needed to target. So let's run an Nmap scan on that again and make sure that we didn't confuse any IPs. Okay, so it in fact was running HTTP. We did not identify anything there. So let's try to use another word list. Sometimes you have to try multiple words. Let's do a ls. Let's change directories to the dir-b. Here's another text file that we can use. Alright. Okay. So that actually gave us some good output here. Using again a get request by default. Word list we used was in the user/share/wordlist/dir-b directory. The text file was common.txt. Here's actually some of the subdirectories that it located at that IP. So what we could do there is we can actually go to this web page. So we can open up a browser, or we could do a curl sv http 192.168.1.17/Zabbix. Okay, so we got a 301. We identified that that is running on Apache 2.437 Red Hat Enterprise Linux. The location is Zabbix. And what we could do from there is we could actually try to see if anything's vulnerable that runs on Apache 2.4.37. I would want to go straight to the web page itself at Zabbix. Alright, so it looks like we got a service running here. It's called Zabbix. And what we could do from here is we could try to see if we can gain access to the Zabbix software. So maybe we could try another word list for brute forcing our way into here. We could look up a common vulnerability running on that Apache server itself version.